Greetings and welcome to yet another video where we will talk about something while you watch me paint something in the background. And this video's title is probably going to be How to Improve as a Beginner Artist. So, let me clear this thing out first. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and people start in different places and eventually get to a point of mastery regardless of how they start. What I'm trying to say is this is what I think will work. This is what worked for me so far, and you should give it a shot if you're struggling to improve and you've been drawing for a while. So let me clear something out before we even start. Practice does not make perfect. If you're doing the wrong practice, you can do that forever and be stuck in the same circle. So just simply drawing every day will not help you. If you're doing something right, you'll get better at it over time. But on the off chance that you're practicing something bad, like bad habits, that will be engraved into your brain and you will not be able to get out of it. So, how do we get out from that habit? Step 1, write that down. Photo studies. Not artwork studies, not style study, not anime study. Photo study. Photographs. Take photographs, find photographs on the internet and study them. Why? Because if you study another artist's artwork, you will take the style changes, the color changes, the way they bend the rules, and you'll be just copying a single person. You will not be getting a core knowledge of everything, because when you stylize something, we eventually get rid of things from realism. That's what makes it unique. So if you follow your favorite artist, they may or may not have the fundamentals shown in there. They'll maybe, like anime for example, it's super exaggerated. You don't even see the nose. There's just 2 lines for the nose. And when the characters rotate, they do show shadow beside it, because the artist who drew it knows what a nose is and they are aware of the shape. So when they rotate that thing around in 3D, they know where the shadow will fall eventually. So they know what they're doing, but if you copy that, you will not know what you're doing. You just know that there's 2 lines for the nose, but not everything else. That's the information that's hidden from us. Just to simplify it, we do not know about that and we can't see that. So ditch your favorite artist for now. Start from photographs, real life photographs, and don't jump to color right away. I know it's the fun part, but hear me out here. You need to study values. Value is basically dark and light. Everything that gives a simple shape form. And how do you do that? You sketch and do it in black and white. What that'll help you with is you will understand how to put shadows in things. Because the most beginner-ish mistake I see from other artists or people who are starting to draw is that they feel so blank. They have no shadows, the colors are blown out, oversaturated, and there's no sense of form. They all feel flat, like a kindergarten drawing on a paper. So you need to know about shadows and how to apply them, and everything has different shapes surrounding those values. After you master those, you'll later understand how to control saturation, where to put intensity of color and where to make it dim so everything stands out. So what have we learned so far? You're going to have to stop copying artists for now. That comes in later, and study photographs. Don't start with color. And if you're trying for portraiture, don't even shade yet. First, just do sketches. You need to get your eye to hand coordination right. Like what you see in front of you, you need to be able to replicate that on the paper. and to know what's going on wrong or what's going right. So photo studies are an absolute best way to start, and don't stick to one photograph, always keep changing it up. But after a week, you might want to get back to something you failed to study and then try it again. So that way you can evaluate how you've improved. Do those things every single day and you will start to see improvements, because you're not doing anything on your own and you're not blindly replicating whatever another artist has put up on their paper. So photo studies are an absolute must. That's what I've been doing for a while, and I've learned so much from it subconsciously. Like, I didn't even know I was learning something until I've seen other videos of people explaining the fact that that's how that came to be, and those are values, those are lights, that's perspective. And I've been studying so many different pictures, it just came second nature to me. Like, even now I struggle with anatomy and perspective, but I'm at a point where they look sort of decent. So if you want to get to my stage, at least you should follow, at least give it a try for what I'm saying. If you're into portraiture, go to Pinterest, find a lot of portraits and sketch them first. And here comes the point 2. Don't rush to coloring. Make sure your sketch is absolutely fine. Always keep loose lines and make sure your shapes are on point. Make sure your lines are correct. How do you do that? You basically just photo studies. You look at a photo, you replicate it, and then you match and see what's wrong and what's right. If you're doing it digitally, you can place the photograph on top of your drawing and lower the opacity to see where you're going wrong, what shapes are you missing, and don't just try for one angle. You know what they say about the northern region of whatever land is that a different angle a day keeps the repetitiveness away. So you should follow that advice and try different angles of faces every single day and try to make it as accurate as possible. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't look like them. You just need to make sure they are proportionate. There will be more tutorials on how to nail the faces later, but what I'm trying to say is do photo studies properly and learn things from it and be aware what you're learning. If you do that every single day, then yes, practice does make perfect. And once you're able to perfectly replicate photographs, like the form, the shapes, the values, everything in it, you have a firm basic grasp of it, only then you can move to stylize things and take off things you don't like, replicate your favorite artist, mix and match, make your own style, all that good stuff. But if you're beginning, photo studies are an absolute must, at least in my opinion. Everybody has their own separate ways, but just open a Pinterest and start collecting photographs and draw them a lot. If you're starting digitally, use the simplest app that lets you sketch and do basic coloring. Don't complicate it too much. Software knowledge will come later. You need to get good at sketching first. No amount of editing will replace a good solid base for your core drawing knowledge. So, step 1, use photographs, not artist photos. Step 2, start it from the basics. Focus on the sketch. Spend as much time as you can on the sketch part, and after you're okay with those, start with values, and after you're okay with those, start to mess with coloring, and after that is okay, start to work on the software expertise, what effects does what layer does what, and try to master your software. If you're traditional, then try to master your medium, like what are the tricks for watercolors, or for pencils, or for gouache, or whatever you're using, the paper, the brand, all those good stuff. Those are for finishing and professionalism, fine-tuning. These always come later. Sketching comes first, and that should always be the top priority. So yeah, get started with those and let me know if it works for you or not. Do a 30-day challenge thingy where you draw one thing every single day and get back to me on that. And if you want any other form of advice or anything else in particular, let me know in the comments down below and I'll be sure to follow up on that. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.